What is going on, guys? I am Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Edifier G2000 Gaming Speakers. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons and my own real life experience that I've had with these speakers. And if at any point during the video you want to check out these exact same speakers, I'll have Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada, but let's get into the review. Jumping right into the first pro, these things sound really good. Obviously, sound quality is going to be the first pro of any speaker if it's actually a good speaker. And yes, these things sound really good. Bass is pretty good. And again, remember, this is a 2.0 system. This is not a 2.1 system, so there's no subwoofer with this. But the bass still sounds really good, much better than I was expecting it to, coming from two tweeters. However, that being said, this is not a replacement for a subwoofer. This is just really good bass for tweeters. As well as that, this speaker system sounds absolutely crystal clear. I mean, it is clear. The mids are clear, the bass is clear, the trebles are super clear. If there's vocals in games or in movies that you're watching or music, everything's gonna sound really clear to you. The EQ was done nicely, and overall the speakers they sound good. I was actually really impressed by the clarity. That's moving us to the next pro, which is you can connect the subwoofer. So if you are feeling like you're lacking bass, or maybe you don't have the money for a big 2.1 really nice system right now, you can always just get a subwoofer down the line after you buy these. And for a lot of you guys, I think this will be perfect for you guys because $100, you're getting a really good system. But if you want to add to that, if you want to upgrade it later down the line, you get any subwoofer that you plug in, 3.5mm auxiliary cable, just a normal headphone cable, and it goes from this out into those subwoofers. So this has a subwoofer out, which is really nice to see. And it just makes it a lot nicer because instead of having to get this when maybe you don't have as much money, and then later you have to upgrade the entire system later, with these, you can buy these right away, get to it, have some nice sound quality, and then once you want a little bit more bass, you got a little bit more money saved up, you get a subwoofer. You get a nice subwoofer, you get a cheap subwoofer, it doesn't matter. You plug it in right to it and you get to upgrade it. I absolutely love that. The next pro is these things get dang loud with a max of 32 watts of peak power. This is a lot. You're not gonna, like for normal desk speakers or even a small living room, those will be able to power these really nicely, and they sound good even getting up into the higher volumes. You're not gonna have any problem with max sound. I don't think you're ever gonna be there, and if you are, you have damaged ears. Now the next pro is the different ways that you can actually connect your devices. So there's 3 different ways to connect your devices. One of them is Bluetooth 4.2, and this is great if you want to play music from your phone or something else like that. Then there is a 3.5mm auxiliary cable, which is great if you want to plug in your PC, you want to plug in your phone or whatever, your console. And then the next mode is USB, which is my personal favorite because I plug this thing into my PC. And that is so cool because you can also have 3 different devices connected at the exact same time through Bluetooth, auxiliary, and USB. And on it, you can actually switch between them manually. So you could actually have 3 different devices connected and then just quickly switch between them, which is pretty cool. And so that means you could connect your phone to these through Bluetooth. You could have your PC connected and then press one button, switches over to Bluetooth, and now you got it on your phone. That's super nice, and I absolutely love this. Previously to this, I had a 2.1 system, and all it had was auxiliary. You couldn't use Bluetooth. There was no other way to connect it besides auxiliary cable, and this it changes the entire experience for me, and having Bluetooth is a game changer. All right, moving to the next pro, that's gonna be the EQ settings that this thing comes built in with. So there's 3 different EQ settings. One of them you have to be on. So you basically get to pick between 3. There is 1 music, there is 2 movie, and then there is 3 game. These actually work. I've had a lot of speakers before and they've got a lot of different EQ settings, and most of the time it barely changes anything. That's not true with these. I typically leave it in music all the time because I think all of the different things, like I feel like gaming actually sounds better in music mode. However, they do change it quite a bit, and they change the bass, the trebles, and the mids and everything. So if you do like a little bit of a different sound and don't want to change it on your PC or your phone or anything, you can just click these buttons and change it over, and it's actually nice to have. All right, now let's talk about the controls. All the controls are put on the left speaker on the left side. They're out of the way, but they also look really nice and they don't look cluttered at all. So first of all, they feel really good. They do not feel cheap at all, which I absolutely love. They feel well built, they feel solid. But let's talk about the functions. The top button is an on and off button if you hold it down. If not, if you just click it, that's what's gonna switch between USB, Bluetooth, and auxiliary. That's really nice to have. Moving down from that, you get a rocker switch, which is so freaking satisfying to use. You guys are gonna love it. It is a volume rocker, so you can turn the volume up on these, not on your PC or your phone. So that's kind of nice to have. As well as that, below that, if you hold this button in, the lowest button, that's gonna change the RGBs of the actual speakers, which do look nice. Besides that, if you don't change that, that's what's gonna change the modes for the EQ, whether that's music, movie, or game. All right, now let's talk about the RGB. These have RGBs on the left and right side of both speakers. So in total, you get 4 little strips that you can see pretty readily. And then as well, on back of both of them, there's a pretty big light source that shines back onto the wall, kind of splashes back onto the wall, which they look really nice actually. They were brighter than I was expecting them to be. I was honestly expecting them just to be super dim, and they're not super dim. They're actually really, really bright. They light up the whole amount of the strip, and they really do add a lot. Now I will say the splash is not crazy bright. If you're in a dark room, it's definitely gonna glow back on the wall, but not an insane amount, not like an RGB strip. However, the sides of them are very nicely shown. They're not like half lit or they don't have dark spots. They're very well lit and they do match my setup very well. But as well, you can change the different lights. Like I said, you can change them between a bunch of different colors to match your setup, and they match mine quite well. There's a bunch of different static colors. There's also breathing versions of all those static colors, and then there's kind of a spectrum where it goes between a bunch of the different light sources. So it should be able to match most of your guys' setups. It matches mine perfectly with this teal. It looks great. Moving on to the next probe, that's gonna be the design. I absolutely love the way these things are designed. I think it's a really clean, simplistic look, but they also have presence, and that's what I like about it. Second thing is, when I took these things out of the box, the first thing I noticed was they are hefty. They are not some light, cheap kind of just speakers. They're actually pretty heavy. They use really good quality plastics. All the qualities on them are just really, really good. As well as that, they don't feel like they were badly put together. Like you can have stuff that's really good quality, but then is poorly put together. Everything fits together. There's no creaking, there's no rattling. Everything is solid, which I absolutely love it. I've used other Edifier speakers, and my experience with Edifier is they just do a good job with their quality and their production and all of their materials. There is no exception here. Now as well, the cable that connects both speakers together is really, really long. This is sometimes an issue with other speakers that I've used. However, it's not with this because it's so long. So if you have an ultra wide on your desk, or if you just have a long, large desk, or maybe you're putting this in your bedroom on like a TV stand, it is plenty long enough to be, more than 5 feet across and still have slack. So that's not an issue for me. Now let's jump into the cons. There's a single con, because overall these speakers blew me away. I honestly didn't expect them to be that good. But they're pretty much perfect for the price point, and especially because you're able to get a subwoofer and add it to this down the road. It's fantastic. So the one con is they are wired together and the wire is not detachable. If these things were a detachable cable with like a 3.5mm auxiliary cable, that would be absolutely perfect. I think it would be easier to cable manage. I think it would just be better overall. However, it's not an issue for me. On some other speakers, it has been an issue because they won't go wide enough. These definitely go wide enough, even for a large desk. So it's not an issue for me. However, that is a nitpicky con that I wish wasn't there. However, for $100, these are absolutely some of the best speakers that you can buy. Especially if you like the look and all of the features, the sound quality is really, really good. You can probably get other speakers with sound quality this good, but are they gonna have the RGB, the nice design, the Bluetooth, the USB? They have all of these different features, which I really enjoy. If you guys are just in it for the sound quality, you probably could get some cheaper speakers, but if you like this whole package together, that makes it really nice to use, I highly recommend these speakers. They really did blow me away. Again, if you do wanna go check out the Edifier G2000s, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. And it was not sponsored by Edifier. This is all my honest review. I truly just do like these. But guys, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you enjoy gaming tech reviews, gaming speaker reviews, keyboard reviews, mouse reviews, anything type of like that, any stuff like that, just hit that subscribe button below. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by June. This is gonna be easy with you guys. You guys have been doing some crazy support. Love and support is insane. Every single video I guys put out, you guys are just liking, commenting. It's fantastic. You guys know I read every single comment, so please keep those comments coming. I love reading them. Thank you for all of the suggestions you guys have been giving me lately. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my new channel, Type C Tech Reviews, we're doing a bunch of videos very soon. You've probably seen on the stories, I've gotten a ton of monitors getting ready for that channel. So go subscribe below. It will be in the description somewhere, Type C Tech Reviews, or just type in Type C Tech Reviews, like USB Type C Tech Reviews. I thought it was kind of smart. Whatever. This was Consumer Tech Review. Love you guys. See you guys later.